it is time for you to lock in your picks. Who will win the Season 3 World Championship, SK Telecom T1 or Royal Club?
I came up with the idea for the hype train because I was trying to find a way for people and fans to really become attached to the Korean teams and the Korean scene.
Oh, well,
I
you know my pick.
Even though many people, I think, on the world's broadcast didn't watch Champions in Korea at the time, or were really kind of unfamiliar with cheering for these teams.
All aboard the Korean hype train, SK Telecom T1 for the championship. Hands down, I've got my tickets here.
And it kind of came up earlier in the group stages in some banter I was having with Freak on the desk, where I did like a little train impersonation, and that got a lot of traction. So I ended up taking that idea and really running with it in the finals. And it was a very fun segment to do.
Thank you, Monty. I appreciate your SKT favorite, but I think it's more time for a Royolution.
Well, Crepo, it's okay. I will save some room in baggage for you, which is probably the appropriate place because you're dead weight anyway.
I'll keep these pieces so you can wipe your tears off the matches.
My name is Christopher Michaels, better known by my ID Montecristo, and my first League of Legends World Championship was Season 3 in 2013 in North America. Well, the 2013 season in Korea was, of course, very interesting and noteworthy, primarily because of Faker's debut, I would say. When we saw his first games in spring, in Champions Spring season, it was obviously a huge breakout moment. He was an incredible player right from his very first game, and we saw him win his first title in summer, and that allowed T1 to be considered probably the favorites at the World Championship that year. Otherwise, there were a bunch of other strong players coming out of Korea at the time, most notably the year starting with CJ and his Blaze and their run into the spring finals, headed by the carry top laner Flame, who also ended up losing that series in probably one of the biggest upsets in League of Legends history to a team called MVP White that would later become the 2014 World's Champion Samsung White. Whenever I do segments like this, when I'm on a desk, I try to avoid telling my colleagues on the desk exactly what I'm doing, because I really want their reactions to be genuine and for it not to feel super scripted. So if you've seen any of the other shenanigans I've pulled in Overwatch or League of Legends desks, it's important to know that oftentimes my co-hosts are seeing it for the first time, and sometimes I'm even doing it for the first time. So in rehearsals for that moment, I told production what I was going to do, and I sort of just walked through it. They knew that I was going to do something with by handing out the train tickets, but exactly how I was going to do it was kind of a mystery to people and existed only in my mind. And fortunately, the producers were on board with me putting on this kind of performance in spite of not knowing exactly what it was or how it was going to turn out. And I think it turned out extraordinarily well. I look back on it now, and I honestly believe that that's one of the moments in my career where I don't know how I could have done it better.
Double lift. I know you want to be on the Korean hype train. Let's go.
All about
SK.
I'm thinking about it. Thanks, coach. No thanks. I'm going with Royal. My brain says SKT, but I got that Chinese pride. I'm friends with Tabe. Royal's gonna win.
I'm friends with Tabe. That's your voting.
That's all right. Voting. It's all right. You may not ride the Korean hype train, but I'll just have you ride the bench next season.
I've done thousands of hours of on-broadcast analysis across Worlds, Champions in Korea, all my podcasts, my own YouTube videos. And at the end of the day, all that work that I did for those is less iconic than that one stupid moment of me blowing a train whistle. So it's kind of frustrating in that way as well, that I feel like the bulk of my work, which was so much more important to me at least, it kind of gets lost when you consider how crazy that moment became. So I was surprised that it caught on so much. And I think that that's like a hallmark of me being able to make cheering for the Korean teams and SK Telecom T1 in particular very attractive to fans. And I accomplished my goal, which is to build a bridge between the Korean scene and the rest of the world. And certainly SKT did that by themselves by having Faker and performing superbly. But in order to try and generate that interest, I think I helped at least a little bit.
Season 3 world champions here at the Staples Center. We have our new League of Legends world champions. Let's welcome to the stage SK Telecom T1.
We are honored to present you with the Summoners Cup. You guys have been absolutely dominant. It's amazing. Here's the Summoners Cup.